third graders, it's time to check our DMA review problems. Remember, you come back every day and check your 4 skill problems. So if we take a look at our first problem, remember that you complete your problems first and then you're going to come back and you're going to check using this video. So if you get it correct, put a star. If you had to self-correct yourself, put an SC here. Remember, this is just important for you to realize that we all make errors, and so we're just using our best understanding of what we know to help us learn. So let's take a look at the first problem. It says 30 divided by 6 equals 5. So remember, your 30 is the total amount, or it's the large amount, and you want to break it up into smaller groups, and you want to know how many are going to be in the group. Or maybe you know how many you have, maybe you're going to put them into that number of groups, and this will tell you how many groups you have. So we can take 30 objects, and we can break them up into groups of 6, let's say. So we'd have 6, and another 6 would be 12, and another 6 would be 18, right? 6 more, 24. 6 more would be 30. Now, we can count how many groups of 6 we would have, and that would be 5. Now, it's asking us to write a related multiplication sentence. So remember, we know that our groups and our number in each group is going to give us back our total. So this is an example of, okay, we can use this repeated addition sentence to help us find a multiplication sentence. So if I have 5 groups of 6, 5 groups of 6 is going to be 30, and that is my multiplication sentence. Now, we happen to be working on fact families right now. So we also know that 6 times 5 would also be a related multiplication sentence to go with this. And then if we were going to complete the fact family, we could also write another division sentence. And to do this, we would switch our divisor with our quotient because we know the groups or the number in each group. We can switch these. So I could switch the divisor with my quotient here and here, and this is still going to give me my new division sentence. Remember, you always start with the number of objects you're breaking up into smaller groups, okay, because that's why we're dividing. Okay, so let's take a look at the next set of problems, and we're looking for the products. So we're multiplying, we're looking for our products. So I have 2 groups of 50. So 2 groups of 50 is 50 plus 50. And if you know what 50 plus 50 is, hopefully everybody kind of has an idea what 50 plus 50 is. 50 plus 50 is 100. Now, if we take another 10 and add it, that makes 60. If we took another 10 and added that, that would make 60. And 2 groups of 60 should be 10 and 10 more added to this 100. So if you know what 6 plus 6 is, 6 tens and 6 tens would make 12 tens. And then we have no ones, that would be 0. So 120 is going to be our product. And now we could use this 2 groups of 60, which is 120, and we could add that with another group of 60, which is going to be 60, and now we have 3 groups of 60. And remember, we're just using our commutative property to switch the order of these. I could do 60 groups of 3, but which one's easier to add? 60 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 60? I would much rather add 3 groups of 60. So 120, add 6 more 10s to 20, you would get 80, because 60 and 20 is 80. And so I don't have enough 10s yet to make a new 100, so it's going to be 180. Now, again, if we're using algorithm, lining up our we can see that it's still going to be 180 because 6 tens and 2 more tens is 8 tens, or 80. Let's take a look at our problems here. So I have 40, and let's say I know the number in each group. So let's say my groups are 8s. I want to know how many groups of 8 can I make? How many groups of 8 will there be to get to 40? So 8, especially if you know how to count by 8s, that would be great. You could skip count. But if you don't, we could add 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus another group of 8 is 24. 4 times 8 is 32. And finally, 32 plus another group of 8 would be 5 groups of 8, and 5 groups of 8 is 40. And our multiplication can be used to check, I'm thinking 5 groups of 8. 5 groups of 8 is going to give me 40, or 8 groups of 5 would also give me 40. So we're using our multiplication to check our division. We could do the same thing here, starting with 63. We have 7s in each group, so we could skip count by 7s or add 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 7 is 21, plus 7. Now, I know what 5 times 7 is, hopefully. It's 35. So we could add up to at least, 5 groups of 7. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 35. Add another group of 7. Now I'm at 5 more plus 2, 35, plus 5 is 40, plus 2 more is 42, plus 7 more is going to give me 49, plus 7 more is going to give me 56, plus 7 more is 63. So it's really important to start having your multiplication facts memorized. So that would be 9 groups of 7 will give me my 63. So if I take 63 objects and put them into groups of 7, I would get 9 groups of 7. And finally, let's think of this as an unknown factor. So let's say I have, I have some groups of 9, which is going to give me 45. Again, if I know my multiplication facts really well, this could be the groups that I'm missing here in my multiplication sentence. So we should also notice that in this pattern, when we are multiplying, 5s are usually going to either be a 0 at the end or 5. So we know that this is probably a multiple of 5 since it has a 5 at the end. So we could say that this is going to be 5 times 9 or 9 times 5, but our missing quotient here is 5. So let's take a look at our mystery number riddle. If you add 5 to me, okay, so we don't know the me, we don't know this number, but if we add 5, we know that then we're going to divide by 9 and we're going to get 3. Okay, so if I think backwards, we know that this number right here, when I divide it by 9, it's going to come up with the answer of 3. So what number would we add to 5? And I'm just going to kind of block this off to help us think. What could I add to 5 that when I divide it by 9, my quotient would be 3? So if you said 22, you'd be correct, because 22 plus 5 more would be 27. And if I divide that by 9, that's going to give me a quotient of 3. So this was a tough one. You have to really think about how to set up that idea of there's a missing number to start with, and how would I use that missing number to help me. So hopefully showing this blank right here and then following the steps by what it's asking me to do would help you figure this out. So don't forget, we're meeting today and we will be talking about in our chat this problem right here from yesterday. So in your chat, you should know what time this clock is saying, and we will be putting that as our warm-up problem today. So see you at math today. Have a great day. See you soon.